Now, most all of the fuses and relays associated with this door locks and a wireless entry or remote entry is going to be found on the driver's side panel here. And I'll go over in detail with you that once we get in and look at the service manual. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at these relays. There's a lock and an unlock relay, and then there's associated fuses. So we're going to pull these relays, and rather than just exchange them to test them, I'm actually going to take them in and test them. All right, now I went to the owner's manual. Let's start there. And we're looking at the main ignition underhood fuse block. Because we wanted to start there, we need to make sure that any of these other instrument panel fuses are being fed, or where they're being fed from. And one of the first things that I'm going to be checking here from the manual, let's look at this together. You can see it outlines your main fuse panel, and it tells you over here that LBEC, left bus electrical center, door modules, door locks, auxiliary power outlet, rear cargo area, and instrument panel here. And there's also an LBEC1 that says it is the left doors, truck body, so forth. Now let's look here. You can see the location. These are under the hood, so I'm going to be checking LBEC2, LBEC1 for sure. And then let's look if there's anything else. Okay, we're not looking at trailer park. Let's look over here. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else yet. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to check those. Then I'm going to flip over here. Let's look at this instrument panel fuse block. This is the one that I just pulled the relays from. And we can see here that indeed there is a locking and unlocking relays. So I have those relays here, and they're identical 8867s. So rather than swap those, which is one way to test those, a lot of people will just swap them. I'm actually going to do a test here and show you. Now let's look here and see if there are other. Okay, and there it shows you that lock relay. There's a driver's door harness connection, LTDR. Power door lock relay, that's the unlock function. There's another power door lock relay, driver's door unlock function. Left turn signal, stop trailer, let's see. Driver door module, DDM. Power door lock system, locks. So we've got several we're going to be checking, and I'm going to use this reference here to locate each of those so we can test them. Now we can see already there's the LCKS locks. So we're going to walk through each of these first and check them. We're going to also check the relays. So we'll do the relay testing and all. We'll move from there. Okay. Now, as I said, we're looking at the instrument panel fuse block, and we're going to start with the two relays. There's a lock and an unlock relay that are directly connected to the doors and so forth. So I pulled those two relays, and here they are. They're both 8867s, and I know people will say, well, just exchange them and check them, and you can do that. That's a common way that people do it. But I thought while I was doing the video, I'd go ahead and show you how you can actually test a relay out of the Chevy Silverado. So I have my multimeter here. I have a little 12-volt battery I always keep. You should keep you one around. I have a set of alligator clips, a positive and a negative, although orientation really doesn't matter. And to simplify this, I've used a magnifying glass and I've identified here each pin. Here they are, 87, 87A, 85, 30, and 86. And I'm not going to go into all the electrical details of that. You can research that and look that up. The most important thing is we want to determine, are these relays in fact good? And we'll go from there. Now, so the first test I'm going to do is I'm going to check the ohm ratings. This is again out of a Chevy Silverado. So I'm going to take my meter and go to the ohm setting. Now here's your ohm setting. So I'm going to use the minimum ohm setting here at 200. And I've got my probes here. And I'm going to test these. What we're going to do is we're going to test 85 here. And we're going to test 86. And we should get approximately on these, I believe it's going to be about an 85 ohm rating. But your manufacturer specifications tell you that. But the Chevy Silverado, testing from those two, 85 and 86 here. Watch the meter and let's see what we get. All right. Now these can range anywhere from 75 up to 100. And so I'm at 83.3 on that. Let's test the other while we're here. Okay, the same. So the ohm test looks good. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to test for continuity here. So looking at my meter, I'm going to move it to the continuity setting. I know I'm in that setting because when I touch these two, I can hear that beep. So I'm going to look now for continuity across 87A and 30 here on your diagram. So looking here at these relays, I'm going to do for continuity across these two. And I've got continuity, and I've got continuity. All right, so now what we want to do, we want to go ahead and power these relays. Now, one way to, before we get to that, one other test that you can do is you can do across 87 and 30. There should be no continuity. So let's just do that real quick while we're here. And there's nothing. All right, so everything so far is checking out good on these relays. But the final test we want to do is we want to check for power. We want to put power to the relays. So I'm going to take my positive here and I'm going to connect it to 85 here. All right. Now, I want to see if the relay is working. So let's listen. Okay, we can hear the relay. All right. So let's do this one. Same thing. We're going to do 85. We're going across 86. And yes, we're getting a relay. We're getting a good relay. Let's check this again. Yes, we're getting good relays. Now, the final test, let's go ahead and put this back here. All right, and we heard the relay. So now let's make sure that we have continuity now at this point from 30 to 87. So here's 30, 87. That's a good relay. All right, let's do this other one. All right, we got the click. Now we're going to do a test across for continuity again. Yes. All right, so now I know both of those relays are good enough. So I can proceed now to look for the fuses and see if I can find an additional problem.